Hello. Welcome back to Love Yours podcast. It is your host, Aurora Tracy, and welcome to the space where you go to feel heard, understood, and appreciate the beauty of your own life. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are, whatever time it is. I hope you're having a wonderful day. If you can't tell, if you're not watching this, I am bundled the frick up because it is the coldest it's been all year over here in New York. And I can't lie, I'm loving it. I'm thriving. I know I have to put on layers, but it is the ultimate comfiest time of the year. I feel like my skin does really well when it's cold. Also, my hair, the curls, thrive in the cold. So your girl's doing kind of fine. Can't lie. And what better episode to do around the coldest time of the year than ways to embrace the slower seasons and also touch on Hygge lifestyle. But before that, of course, we have to do our weekly catch-up. So, really random, but I found out last week the Oxford 2023 word of the year was Riz. How freaking amazing is that? Now, just go look it up because there's a whole article on the word Riz and like the different ways and forms of using Riz. It's actually pretty great. So go check that out if you're interested. But other than that, my week, I had my first quilting class, which was amazing, relaxing, healing. It was honestly so much fun. It's just 4 of us in the class with the owner, who's a retired teacher. And so obviously the way she teaches and is teaching us how to quilt is amazing. And we're flying by. I was supposed to have another one this past Tuesday. But because of the weather, it got postponed to Friday. So looking forward to the second class. We're going to start sewing. And I'm a little nervous. But overall, very excited. Obviously, because I want the quilt. But she was talking to us about our experience. And this is a beginner class. But she was talking to us about any of our prior experiences. Trying to get a lay of the land, for who she's dealing with. And she asked me once, if I've ever sewed or used a sewing machine. And I was like, yeah, in home and careers class back in middle school. That's the last time. So I'm not worried though. She was a teacher, and does this all the time. So I think I'm going to be addicted to it. I can't lie. When I have something that takes up like my brain and my hands, I can be involved in creating and gets me just distracted from whatever else is going on in my mind, I find I love. And I need, honestly, that's what I need to kind of like shut everything else out, turn it all off, is find an action or a hobby that just involves multiple parts of me. So that's going stellar. But now moving forward to the rest of my week, I'm still figuring out YouTube and video editing. So please sit tight for that. I know I mentioned in these next few episodes that, if you're watching or if you can see this, I promise I will get them up on YouTube. I can figure things out pretty quickly, but the thing with me is I don't want to put out something that's half-assed. I want to make it the best I'm capable of and like look how I like the quality, which may be a little nitpicky. I know it gets to a point where I just have to start releasing and publishing content and figuring out as I go, but that's who I am. I want to be the best I can, not just throw something at you. I want you to see something you can enjoy. So that's going to take a minute, but I promise it's coming. And then of course my weekend, my bestie Steph came to visit. Now I met Steph when I studied abroad in London in 2019. We lived together. We got room together in a flat in Camden Town with 3 other people. There was 5 of us. And to this day, we could talk about it for hours. Might have to do an episode on studying abroad. I'm not going to lie. I have so many stories and tips, but I am so grateful for the people that I roomed with, and Steph and I have been connected since then. We've always seen each other once or twice a year, and it is just one of my favorite things about our relationships is that time can go on, but we always find at least once or twice a year to connect, hang out. It's like nothing ever happened. We have the best time, and I appreciate, friendships like that. And people where the effort goes both ways. Okay. I think this is kind of a side note, but I sort of struggle with friendships that need daily like reassurance. And now maybe it's a fault on me, but I found like the best friendships for me that work out, that I'm enjoying and they last long, are ones that are a little lower maintenance, ones that we can go a few days or maybe a week without texting, chatting, hanging out, catching up, but we better see each other once a month, because I do miss the heck out of you and I love you with my whole being. My little tiny brain just sometimes struggles with texting back, with responding, and I need you to understand it. It is not personal. It's not you. I really, really want you in my life. There's just some mental block sometimes there. So for all my girlies that have stuck around and that are my besties, I appreciate you. And this is just a little tidbit into my mind. If you don't hear from me for a few days, you know why. We probably have already talked about it. You're probably the same way, because that's why we're besties. But okay, rant over. Steph was here. It was amazing. We kind of did a mix of chill nights, and then one day we went and had a little city time. We made homemade pasta. My boyfriend chefed it up for us the whole time. We really only had to eat out like twice. My parents came for a minute to check out my new apartment, and so we took them to Korean barbecue, KBBQ, which obviously we picked out. We had card game nights, like board game nights. The city was fun. She got a tattoo. We got some tacos, met up with her friends for a drink or two. Just good vibes. It was freaking freezing, but of course the guy was fine in the city, but I feel bad. She was dressing cute, so she's a little cold, but it's a part of the experience, okay? It's a part of the experience. Can we talk about that Bills win, though? You think I was going to do a weekly recap and not mention the Buffalo Bills win? You're wrong. Buffalo freaking Bills, baby. Next week, now we're hosting Kansas City in Buffalo. You have no idea how sad I am not to be there. I don't live in Western New York anymore, obviously. I live on the other side of the state. And flying there just for a Buffalo Bills game is something I've definitely considered multiple times, but as per my previous video, when we're trying to be a little bit more financially responsible, that's just not on the list of financial responsibility. Is a plane ticket and game ticket, and that's really sad. But nonetheless, I will be watching. Go Bills. I'm a little nervous. I can't lie, because I feel like it always gets to this point with Kansas City, but I'm gonna shut up about it. I don't want to jinx it. Just be there to watch the game, because you're gonna witness history. Okay, last, I wanted to keep you guys updated about my full-time job situation. So obviously, I have a full-time job. I am in communications and events for the construction industry, like corporate communications and events, PR. Kind of wear many hats. It's a small company. I've been here for almost a year now, and I've learned a lot. The work is nonstop, which is amazing. I've been growing my skills in PR, marketing, communications, and that's exactly what I wanted to do. There's just a lot of other needs that aren't being met from an employer standpoint, and so I've been on the hunt for some place where I can grow and I see myself there for a long time. I want that longevity, and I want to rise up in the ranks, and I found that you really need to be passionate about what you're doing for work in order to take it to the next level, to take it far. I want to be excited to maybe put in some overtime. I want to be so invested and enjoy my work that it doesn't seem, like a burden. But also a place that values balance, because that's just so important to me. Otherwise, I will burn out. And I'm burnt out, to say the least. But with that, I have finally, after a few rejections, heard back for an interview at a place that I put on my vision board. I put it on I could literally show you right now, but I'm not going to whip out my vision board, but it's on there. And if that's not a sign enough for you guys, then I don't know what to tell you, but the energy that shifted in me when I just even saw that email come through for an interview was crazy. That's really all it takes for people to stay motivated, in my opinion. But as someone who's like looking for a new position, I can't tell you how many times I just wish people would give me the chance, just get me on the phone. I don't understand. I mean, I was a recruiter, so I understand denying people based on their experience, but really, you never get to know. I feel like the resume can never really comprehensively help you understand the individual and their skill sets, because at the end of the day, people hire people based on really if they like you or not, if they can work with you, if they want to work with you, if they personality, driven, those types of things that can't be taught. Skills can be taught. Soft skills can be taught. It can be taught how they want you to perform a certain operation. So really what they need to look for is, am I driven? Am I consistent? Is this an industry I want to be in? Am I reliable? Am I a good communicator? Can I multitask? And answer is heck yeah to any of those if anyone's interested. But that's just my little rant about job interviews, because I know I would kill it if someone just gets me on the phone. I always do. Job interviews don't really intimidate me. I'm great with talking to people, and I'm passionate about the work, and that can come across way better in a conversation than just a resume. So thank you for anyone who's going to give me the chance, and let's manifest I get this job. Okay, moving on. Weekly favorites. That was kind of a longer catch-up, guys, but weekly favorites this week are the show Yellowstone on Peacock. If you have not watched it, there's some violence, but it is so addicting. So perfect next binging show for you to watch. 5 seasons, I believe. I'm on the 5th one. I got that far in like a week. Now, to be fair, I was sick during that week, so we really had nothing else to do but binge it. Addicting. The drama and the turns it takes and the storyline just builds up, and I need to see the next one. That's it. That's all I'm going to give you. Go check it out. It's great. Next on my favorites is Candy Cane Body Scrub. This is really, really random, but I got it for Christmas, and my mom got me 2 because of how good it smelled from Target, and thank the frickin' Lord, because it's like the perfect. So I don't like super sweet smells. That's just me. But this candy cane one is like slightly sweet, but more fresh. Obviously candy cane smelling. It's amazing. I usually use the Coca Colada one, which Tree Hut, like if you know, it's like the best freaking scent they have. And this one did enough for me to switch for a little bit. So ladies, if you're in the market for a new body scrub from Tree Hut, check out Candy Cane, if they still have it. I hope they do. And then last is going to be pasta making with the stand mixer, the pasta making attachment that we have for fresh homemade pasta. Nothing beats it for 2 reasons. One, obviously, is the taste, the freshness, the thickness, like how you like it. The pasta itself is customizable to you, what you're looking for, what you want. But the second part that makes me really, really love it is the time and energy it goes into making it, and it's a perfect friend activity. And me, my boyfriend, and my friend Steph, we enjoyed doing it so much together, and it was so fun to learn how to do it, first of all, and then have the end product. We enjoyed the pasta and then played games, and it was just like, it was worth the effort, I think, and it really, really wasn't that hard. Obviously, you can make some pastas that are probably more difficult, but we just made spaghetti noodles with homemade vodka sauce, which we were talking we'd probably do a different noodle type, but regardless, delicious. So I hope you get some inspiration on some activities to do with you and your friends if you're looking for something different this winter. And that is it for the catch up and favorites this week. Let's get into what we've been waiting for, ways to embrace the slower seasons and Hygge lifestyle. Okay, embracing the slower months of the year and the winter season. So, if you don't know, I live in New York, just outside of New York City, which means northeastern United States, and also means that it's winter time, full force. The holidays are now over and the hype has died down, but we are very much still in the slow months and winter time of the year. And this can be tough for a lot of people. I actually heard a statistic saying that this week specifically tends to be one of the most depressing weeks for people out of the entire year. It makes sense. A few weeks out of the holiday, New Year's done, and things kind of slow down, maybe hit a wall, maybe get depressing for some people. But I particularly tend to like this time of year and enjoy it, and I feel that makes me qualified to offer some helpful tips to help get you through the winter months of the year, or wherever you are, the slower months in general, where we tend to see some seasonal depression and time is just slowing down. And I think it's all about embracing little things and finding joy in simplicities around you, which is why I wanted to introduce you to Hygge, Hygge. And the definition of Hygge is a Scandinavian term that encompasses a feeling of coziness, contentment, and well-being found through cherishing the little things. The concept, through my research, is rooted in comfort, togetherness, and well-being, and it's inherently soothing. So I feel it's appropriate to visit this term and introduce you to it, given what we're going through right now, if it's winter where you are. So here is your introduction to the Danish concept of hygge, if this is your first time hearing about it. If not, that's what we're going to be covering. I'm going to keep it brief, though, and really encourage you to do your own deeper research, as obviously I'm not the professional. I'm not the expert in hygge, but I find that I do a lot of it without knowing that it was a concept to begin with. So that was kind of exciting to kind of learn about myself. But I will be talking about some key points of hygge and how you can embrace aspects of the lifestyle in this moment, incorporate it into your life currently, realistically, when many of us likely need it. So to start out, I want to bring your attention to the little book of hygge, The Danish Way to Live Well, by Mike Viking. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. In this book, he shares the 10 principles of Hygge Manifesto, which are as follows: atmosphere, presence, pleasure, equality, gratitude, harmony, comfort, truce, togetherness, and shelter. So really, what I want you to focus on and kind of take away from this is that simple comfort is, by nature, a matter of subjectivity. So keep this in mind, that it's simple comfort, and whatever that means to you is really what we're getting at here. And that can look so differently for other people, which is why I thought I would show you how I incorporate hygge into my life and things that I do, to hopefully inspire you to incorporate some of these, or come up with your own, or maybe realize that things that you already do enjoy fall into this category and can kind of kickstart you into incorporating that more often, or trying new things maybe. So focusing on those 10 principles, I try to find something that I do that kind of connects to each one. So this is the list that I came up with. It honestly wasn't too hard, because I feel like the reason why I love this time of year is because if you know me, the word cozy, first of all, is in my vocabulary daily. Cozy is the vibe I strive to be. It is the vibe of my home. Fun fact, before we get into how I incorporate it, you know how I said my parents were here over the weekend, my mom and stepdad. My mom told me that my stepdad, after leaving, kept saying, "It's so cozy. Their home is so cozy. It's just so nice and relaxing." Ultimate compliment ever received. That is all that I hope to bring, is the vibes. When people come over, I want them to feel at home and cozy and comfortable and safe in my space. So here we go. Ways I incorporate hygge into my life. 1, could you guess it? Candles. Lighting candles all the time of the year. I honestly grew up with my mom also loving candles, so there really isn't a time in my life where I didn't have candles. Easiest way to set the vibe, the energy, the calmness, the coziness of the warm glow, and your favorite scents combined. Perfect way to instill some comfort in your atmosphere. Next is relaxing music or music that I enjoy when I'm just doing even daily tasks. Maybe I'm working on some admin work, I have some lo-fi in the background, or if I'm cleaning around the house, I'm playing my favorite tunes. That's a way to bring comfort. Also, having your favorite throw blankets or favorite blankets in general, or maybe a scarf like I'm wearing right now. This thing, 1, goes with everything, so find yourself a good staple like this. Cozy, cute. But favorite blankets, things that are literally comfortable, stock up on them. It's okay to invest in a good blanket that'll last you a while. I mean, I have probably, just off the top of my head, like 4. And 1 or 2 of them I bought in recently, but the other 2 I've had for a while, and they're still just as freaking comfy. So among the simple pleasures, enjoying simple pleasures like a blanket, I also put down my favorite water bottle, my emotional support water bottle. I know you know what I'm talking about. Is it literally emotional support? No, but it's comforting to always have it and always have water. We stay hydrated around here. That's the point. Also on the list for me is my gratitude journal. Carving out time to be intentional with my thoughts, connect with myself, and write them down. And what I'm grateful for is just, it brings comfort to me in my mind, forces me to slow down a little bit, which I think is kind of the point of winter, in my opinion. And, you know, the world and nature slows down. I think we as humans could benefit from slowing down a little bit too. Next is board games and card games. Huge board game fan. We just played games with my friend when she was here for the weekend. The board game Catan, I actually posted as a little like sneak peek for this week's episode in my post on Love Yours Podcast Instagram page. And I took a really cool picture because we were playing it with some candles lit on the table. The vibes were great. It was like late at night after we'd finished dinner. And I used my new camera and it turned out to be a really cool picture. But Catan is the board game. Catan. If you've never played it, great strategy game. The rounds don't last too long, maybe like a half an hour, depending on who you're playing with. And it's great. It's a lot of fun and engaging. So check that out. Also, making food from scratch, which is something I did this past weekend as well. I think it's a perfect way to incorporate some hygge into your life through kind of like the comfort of making food, but also the atmosphere it brings, and contributing to this wonderful meal that's warm and cozy that you get to eat afterwards. So I think finding a recipe that really interests you and trying your best to make it from start to finish, great way to incorporate. Next on the list is making time for fresh coffee in the morning. Now, if you're not a coffee drinker, this can also be applicable to tea or whatever little drink you like to drink in the morning. But for me, I find so much enjoyment in making my coffee in a mocha pot in the morning. It smells delicious, takes like 5 minutes, and I don't know, it's a little bit more involved than just using a Keurig. I haven't used a Keurig in probably like over a year now, and I'm not mad about it. Clearly the theme here is putting a little bit of extra effort into the things you're consuming or doing or playing, and you get more enjoyment out of it. Trust me on this one. Okay, other ways I incorporate hygge into my life is natural elements in the home. Now, this is obviously best achieved through plants. I love plants, and I'm so grateful. My boyfriend does too. He also likes to propagate. More specifically, he's been really into propagating basil. So we have a lot of basil right now. But the point is it brings something into my routine that I get enjoyment and fulfillment out of, and it's natural element, obviously, plants, and so it's fun to get to nurture and see them grow, maybe repotting when they outgrow their pots, and also kind of researching and learning about each one. Some like to be really damp. Some you need to let them dry out before you water again. Some need direct sunlight, not. So just a simple act of nurturing something that takes time to grow and is comforting. That's pretty much it. Okay, dressing cute and comfy, though, especially during this time of the year. And I emphasize more on the comfy than the cute, but the cute is subjective to your personal style, what you feel best in, what makes you feel cute, makes you feel good, look good, Sweatsuits, like matching sweatsuits are a great one. Scarves, like I mentioned. Favorite athleisure wear, really, any crew necks, hoodies. That's what I love about this time of year is I can dress in layers and coziness, really, wear coziness all day long, but you find ways to make it look cute. And I find that, like, I love fashion and style better in the fall and winter months than spring and summer, especially when in summer it's just like blistering hot. You can only find yourself wearing like a piece of cloth, otherwise you're sweating to death. It's hard to be like stylish. So kind of off topic as far as style goes, but when it comes to comfort and Hygge lifestyle, wintertime is the best for that. You have every excuse to dress warm and comfy and be cute. Now, the last one I wanted to mention on how I incorporate simple comfort and slow down in my day-to-day life is through taking photographs of my surroundings, of my hobbies, my friends, myself. I'm not afraid to admit it. To me, photos are a way that I appreciate the present moment. And for a while, I kind of pushed that side of me away because I feel like there's so much noise on the internet of putting your phone down and stop taking photos and stop videoing and be in the moment, just be present. And so I was like, man, like I love to take photos and videos. I love to capture, document things, and maybe I'm doing it too much. And so I stopped for a while and it got sad. I missed that side of me. It was a creative outlet for me. And the best thing I could have done this year is bring it back. And I'm so glad I started at the end of last year getting active again with taking photos and not being afraid to document. I do it in a way that's perfectly balanced for me. I find these little moments, these little glimmers of happiness, simple pleasures, and I like to capture them. And on a later date, I'm such an empathetic person. I can see a photo and go back to it and relive the emotion, the experience all over again, and that memory. And that's what's so special to me. I don't take up my whole time during these moments to take photos. I capture a few and then keep it moving. And it's like my favorite way, honestly, to just capture life's simple moments and happiness and relive them and keep them, honestly. So if you're like me and photos are a way of not only a creative outlet, but also how you can appreciate the value of a simple moment and time with loved ones, don't shy away from that, because I fully feel that, and I have never been happier than when I continue to do so. When I stopped, it was kind of like sad and dark and gray, to be honest. Okay, well, I hope I have given you enough ideas to start incorporating Hygge into your own life and really lean into the slower seasons and winter time and find ways to enjoy it, because it can be enjoyable, and I think we deserve to give ourselves some rest and recharge time. Living a Hygge lifestyle really encourages us to slow down and appreciate the present, which in turn can reduce stress and promote overall well-being. It's really about taking pleasure in the sheer simplicity of your surroundings. And I hope that's what I leave you with today. This was such a fun episode. Thank you for coming along with me on my rants and catch-ups and whatever else comes to mind, who knows. And like I said, please give Love Yours Podcasts a follow on Instagram. The link tree is in the bio, so you can find me on all streaming platforms and soon YouTube. The YouTube channel's up, just have not posted yet. So again, I really appreciate your patience with that. I promise you it'll be worth it. I can't wait to connect with you guys on a long form platform with video. I really want to start engaging with you more and creating more conversation. I think that's really going to be the place to do so. So as always, Remember to do something a little extra for yourself. Love yourself a little extra this week, especially during this time of year. And I love you so much. See you guys next week. Bye.